Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome back to the third part of I'm really liking the builds I'm doing lately. And I like the farmer's market. I was working on my save and I was working on Newcrest and I was like, what else can I put in this strip? And you can see in the video that the greenhouse is next to it and therefore the farmer's market is 3 lots over from this build. And I didn't want to do I don't know, I didn't wanna do any of the usual stuff. I didn't wanna throw a bar or museum in there because that's how every other world is, and I'm obviously going to keep a lot of the bars and museums that are already in the game. I'm just going to renovate them and make them look nicer and be more fun places to go. And so I was like, what can I do?" Because I feel like with all of the worlds, they have established personalities and things, and I kind of have to mesh my builds with those. So, like, Willow Creek is the original world is kind of old and like really traditional looking, and so I have to go with that. And then Brindleton Bay is really beachy, and obviously Oasis Springs has this whole like modern desert vibe. So Newcrest is where I get to really play around. I feel like it's the safest world for me to use the most packs because if you download it and you don't have all the packs, Newcrest is empty anyway. So even if you only end up with the shells of some of these buildings, it'll be an upgrade. But anyway, so I decided I wanted to do a movie theater because, for one, movie hangout stuff is one of my favorite stuff packs. It's just really well designed. I feel like it came with a lot of stuff, and there, even though it's definitely very boho, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it and a lot of ways you can incorporate this stuff. For instance, this. And then second, with movie hangout stuff, even though it's one of my favorite stuff packs, I've only mostly used the build stuff and the furniture. I haven't used the movie screens. I haven't played with them at all. And I also haven't played with the popcorn machine at all. And so I was like, it's go time. And I decided to build a movie theater. And when I started this, I was thinking it was not going to be a super functional lot like the farmer's market. I didn't want it to be a decorative thing like, oh, this is quote unquote a movie theater, but you can't actually do anything in it. I wasn't going to have that. And so I worked really hard on the outside to make it look like a movie theater. And then I went to work on the inside. And something important to note is I didn't make this because, you can make it a general lot and stuff. I made this a lounge. So it does have space for an entertainer, like there's a microphone and instrument and stuff. Because I figured even if you don't have the movie stuff or whatever, this does work as a lounge. It does operate as a lounge. And if you don't have the movie stuff, the chairs I put as the seating in each individual theater, they are base game chairs. And so you could cheat and use move objects to scale up a TV and put it on the wall if you needed to. And then the concessions I set up, it's the bar from bowling night stuff. I also did use, I think, a decent amount of bowling night stuff in here because it has that, movie theaters and bowling alleys have that same kind of tacky functional vibe to them. Yes. And so there's that. So you could definitely use this still as a movie theater, even if you don't have movie hangout stuff, except of course you won't have popcorn, which is boring. Probably. No, it's okay. It's just less for you to clean up when your Sims are done. And like the farmer's market and the greenhouse, I did play test this build. I know 3 builds in a row I've play tested. What is happening? Couldn't tell you, but I'm enjoying it. And so what I wanted to do was make it so it was multiple theaters. I actually looked at floor plans for like small town movie theaters to try to figure out what I wanted to do because obviously I could, you go into a movie theater and the floor is sloped so that the seats in the back are the highest up so everyone can have a decent view of the screen no matter where they are in the theater. And I couldn't do that. So I wanted to figure out a way to, I don't know, accomplish a movie theater feeling without having like landscaping and different levels of floors and stuff. So I did put in, the hallway you walk into a movie theater, you open, not the actual building, but into the individual theaters, you open the door and then you have to go in a hallway and go around so that when you open the door, the light doesn't like mess with everyone's experience. Put that in there. And I did put lights in each individual theater. I put like, they're pretty dim, like wall sconces because you're playing a video game. It's The Sims. You don't want to actually play in the dark. But obviously, you can dim them more if you want to, or you could turn, you click the light, turn off lights this room, that kind of thing. I mean, hey. And so you could have your Sims in the dark. When I play tested it though, I actually brought the entire Burb family into a theater with popcorn, which oh my gosh, I should have recorded me play testing it with them because they all sat in the back row together, like the whole family. And well, the back 2 rows because they're a big family, and they're like watching this movie. I can't remember which movie I made them watch, and they're like throwing the popcorn, they're laughing and stuff, and it's adorable. Like I knew this would be a fun build, and I knew it'd be a cool venue to have because your Sims could go on dates and stuff here because it's a lounge and stuff. And then watching them actually use it, it was everything. It was everything. I also spent an okay amount of time on the bathrooms in here. I didn't want to do little bathrooms. I was like, this is a movie theater and it's a lounge, so it's a community lot. And so a lot of Sims are going to come here, which they do, but I'll get to that. Hold on. And so I put a lot of bathrooms in here. I think there's a men's room and a women's room, one on either side of the theater. And I think they each have 5 stalls. So that's like 10 toilets. So if your Sims gotta go, they're good. And I did like actual stalls, but they all work. I tested those too. Don't worry about it. I think my favorite little detail is that we have actual movie posters in The Sims. And so I put them on the walls and I put them on the outside of the building because you go to a movie theater and usually they have posters of new and upcoming movies on the outside. And then they have current movie posters, upcoming movie posters, and even like antique movie posters on the inside in the hallways. And so this wasn't like a big, grand, like 13 theater movie theater, but I still put on that main hallway a bunch of movie posters. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I'm going to get to the thing about it being a community lot. But I also tried to make it so like when your Sims aren't watching the movie, when they're in the main area, that it felt like, all the extra stuff they try to pack into movie theaters and malls and shopping centers and stuff. So there's like an arcade machine, and because a lot of movie theaters they have arcade machines, and like they always have those Jurassic Park shooting games for some reason, and they have photo booths. Obviously, we don't have a photo booth in The Sims, but hey, I made it work. I put in the arcade machine. The entertainer, obviously, most movie theaters aren't going to have live entertainment, but for it to be a lounge, you had to have the microphone. And it's actually kind of cool when your Sims go in there and then there's someone singing, as long as they're good. And then the concessions area, it's set up like there are places to sit. There's a little dining area, and then there's also the bar that comes with bowling night stuff. And I put a couple chairs there because you have to have a certain number of bar stools for the lot to function as a lounge. But I left a space open so you can pretend your Sims are going to order. The only thing is I put 2 popcorn machines in there, and the Sim working the bar isn't going to fill up. They're not going to fill up the popcorn machines. So if you have your Sim just run both of them really quick as soon as you get there, then they'll stay full because until Sims grab them, and it's really fast. But the popcorn doesn't spoil. So it'll last until you're done. And then the thing I was going to say about being community lot is you can have your Sims come in. You can have like a couple and they go sit in the back of the movie theater and smooch or whatever and watch a movie. And then as other Sims come to the lot, they'll go into the different theaters and turn on the screens. So it'll be like a active movie theater. It won't be just whichever Sims you bring in there all sit in one theater and watch a movie and everything else is empty. No, they'll go in there and use it. And it's so cool. I tried to really make the individual theaters, even though it's simple, it's just basically a room with a TV and chairs. I tried to make them look like movie theater screen like areas. I put those big drapes from I think Dine Out on the walls so they look like the soundproofing stuff they put on the walls. I tried to make it like I don't know. I put those like velvet ropes on the outside. I don't know. I'm very, very, very proud of this lot and this build, and I think it's really fun to play in, and I think I'm going to have to take some of my Sims there and my Let's Plays in the future because it operates so much better than I expected, and I feel like that's like what's getting to me lately is all of these things I have an idea, and then I'm like, I don't know if I can pull this off in The Sims, so I'm going to try it, and then they do so much better than I expect. But anyway, screenshots are about to roll through, so I'm going to let you go. As far as screenshots, there are only a few because I didn't think you needed a screenshot of every single movie theater since they basically look the same. They're all just slightly different sizes. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!